Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into the TA. All right, guys, so we got a little bit of a market dump going on today, but guess what? We're still in yesterday's range, okay? I've been telling everyone it's the wait and see approach, okay? You got what you got on Friday. It is what it is, okay? You now have no idea where the market wants to go next. You've been consolidating, go back and forth for 4 sessions now in between these moving averages. They're stacked. They're coiled up. They're getting compressed. It is going to lead to a larger move, up or down. If it is down, we know for a fact we can place the probabilities in our favor by buying that dip next week. All right, I'm going to go over in this video why, but I want to make it very clear here that as far as, swing trading goes, you have no edge during this. You got no business trading with size during this. You really have no business trading through this. And if you are going to scratch that itch, just do what I've been telling you guys that I'm doing. Just size down. Okay, it's the best possible approach. You size down when you're uncertain, or you take a complete step back. All right, that's all you have to do. A correction happens every few weeks. I promise. I promise one of these things happens every few weeks. Sometimes they're larger than most. I hope this is going to turn out to be a larger than most. I'm guessing it is. Why? This cloud indicator we have on here, okay? It's literally just the moving averages. Guess what? It's been green the whole entire time and is now about to flip red. You get the move that I'm going to talk about in this video here that I'm going to prepare everyone to take advantage of if you want to. All right. But yeah, you get that. And yeah, cloud flips red like tomorrow. Okay. I'm not telling you you're going to fall off a cliff tomorrow. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm telling you this is, compression we're seeing right here around the moving average. They're stacked. They're getting ready for a large move. All right. Up or down. And I'm just going to tell you, if it's down, we're probably not going to see more than we're talking 1 to 1.5 weeks of downside. Okay, I'm gonna go over why, and that has to do with VIX. Okay, it has to do nothing with this. It has to do with VIX. So we're actually going to start the video off with that. This is going to be a shorter video, just because the whole market, I'm just telling you for a fact, it doesn't matter if the tide's going down, boats are going to fall. It doesn't matter about the setup. Okay, the environment is not supportive of these setups. You can't do nothing about it, okay? Any spec capital, it's being pulled out. Doesn't matter what ticker it is, it's being pulled out, all right? So just keep that in mind. I'm going to point out a few stocks that I think are going to perform well no matter what, all right? CELH, MU, CRWV, and then I'm going to point out what stocks I want to scoop up on this dip that we're talking, okay? But VIX, guys, daily RSI, overbought. That's 73. My bad. I had a tickle in my throat. I had to take care of it. All right. But yeah, real talk, guys. 73. We're testing it for the second time now. You come over the weekly time frame. We're now 2 weeks into this VIX spike. You come back to your COVID crash. You got a 1. You got a 2, a 3, a 4, and then you topped. You topped in that 4th week. That was during your COVID crash. Yes, I said it. Crash. 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 Not correction. Crash. We're not crashing. I don't care what anybody has to say about it. We're not crashing. All right. And, I'm also just going to say, if we are crashing, we don't know yet. Okay. You only know these things when they happen, which is why I'm telling you, just take the risk off approach right now when we're consolidating around the moving average and have no clear direction on the market. Take the risk off approach, take the wait and see approach, whatever you want to call it. All right. It's what I've been preaching. And real talk, this is exactly why you don't have to be messing with this garbage price action over here in the indices. I've been pointing out individual ticker setups, but as far as the indices go over here, guys, it's been crap price action. We've been very transparent about that, very vocal. All right. And that's not gonna go away. It's not. All right. Until it stops, it doesn't go away. And until we break out from this area, it doesn't go away. We don't know when it goes away, which tells you should just take a different approach and take a step back. Okay. You don't have to always go balls to the walls in the market, guys. You do not. All right. Right now, you want to protect your capital. You want to take a step back. I'm telling you, we're going to get a glorious opportunity right around the corner. All right. So let's talk about it. VIX daily RSI is overbought, but like I was saying, okay, COVID crash, 4 weeks up. Well, what happens on every other VIX spike? You get 2 to 3 weeks up, and then you start coming back down. You get VIX crush pretty much every time. 1, 2, 3, coming back down to earth. Okay, what was that? 40% decline. 1, 2, topped on week 3. Okay, what about this guy over here? 1, 2, 3, topped on week 4. 1, 2, 3, topped on week 3, started coming back down. You're like, Henry, what about over here? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles that all were going higher. Well, you know what? That's a good point, little Jimmy. We'll take a look at it. All right, we'll take a look. What was going on over there? Oh, the daily RSI did not get overbought. Oh, so it's actually nothing like the scenario we have right now. Oh, okay then. So we're not going to talk about it. All right, your worst case scenario right now, this is what I'm going to point to. It's right over here. Does anybody remember August 5th? NASDAQ down 5%. I gave you a reminder, okay? Hopefully you guys remember that day. If you were here with me, then hey, you definitely remember the day, okay? August 5th. That's the day you had a bottom put in the market. It's right over here. Everybody thought the market was going to crash. It was 5% down on the NASDAQ. It was as ugly as it possibly could be. All right? And even then, you still followed this pattern I'm talking to you guys about. You still followed. You only spiked for 3 to 4 weeks to 3 weeks. And then on that 4th week, you completely topped and you had a reversal. Okay? I think it was actually a Monday, if I'm remembering correctly. It was a Monday. Ha, ha, ha. Look at that. Okay? So that's July 24th. You ended up coming up, all right? You came up to overbought territory once, pulled back on July 24th. This is where we are right here, okay? This is where we are right now, okay? This is your bear case scenario. This is your worst case scenario, which I'm still going to point out is going to be bullish. We are going to make money on the upside off of this scenario, all right? You're right here. You spike up. You then consolidate for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions, and you start spiking back up on that 6th session. Well, that's July 24th to August 1st. Let's come over here to SPY what happened. I already got it marked out for us, guys. Don't you worry. This is July 24th. It looks pretty rough. You did continue lower the next day, slightly lower, and then you went flat around the moving averages for the next week. And then after that, you started slicing back down, okay? Right here, guys, is where we are right now, okay? We're right here. Well, we're right here, but I'm just going to say things look like we're right here. You just look at what's going on. Look at what's going on. It looks identical. I'm not going to say it's going to behave exactly the same where you get, you know, this one capitulation style move. I'm not going to say that at all, but I'm pretty positive. Okay, I'm going to give it 85% odds. Yeah, we're going to get this capitulation style move. People are going to shit their pants. And I'm going to sound like an idiot for like the first few sessions of calling. Yes, I'm going to be calling for a bottom at some point. It's going to happen. Okay, I'll let you know when I'm seeing the signs there. But that's when you start taking the risk on approach, when it makes sense to do so. We know VIX over here. Okay. Like right now, I'm telling you guys, you barely got discounts. I'm just telling you for a fact. I'm a momentum trader. I trade breakouts. I point out every single video, there are these momentum stocks that I'm pointing out with strength. There are these setups here that are likely going to have breakouts in the short term or just freshly breaking out. All right. I'm pointing those out. You're not trying to get discounts on those. You're trying to play the momentum. All right. I'm telling you with the stocks that are going to be moving with the market and how to take advantage of this is you're looking for discounts. You're looking for as close as possible over here to the weekly 21 EMA as you can get. It's your best possible price. All right. Maybe it undercuts it like that. This is August 5th. This is your bear case scenario. This is your worst case scenario is you get this scenario over here. All right. And guess what? We're 2 weeks into it. So what if you sell next week? Do not put yourself in a bad spot. We've been talking about it. Just don't do it. Just take the wait and see approach with me and just take a step back. Okay, go touch extra grass than normal. That's all you have to do. Okay? All you got to do. You do not have to be sitting here, going nuts. All right, watching screens, paying attention, ever so closely to the market when you know the environment is shit. I can't make it any more clear. I've been trying to make it clear, and it became obvious that no, people are just getting wrecked in this environment. All right, and I need you, for yourself, not to do that. Okay, not for me, but for you. So technically, you need it. All right, just don't fuck yourself up right now. Fear and greed index 23. Came all the way down to 23. That's where we are right now. What was the low over here? It went down to 3. Okay, that was in April. That was during your crash. Okay, so I'm just pointing this out. You're going to see this post on the line. I do agree with this, but I'm definitely going to say it can come lower. All right, you're going to see it post online. I guarantee it. It does not. It's not something that's going to tell you when the bottom's in. Okay, what it does tell you is that real quick, the market went from greedy to extreme fear real quick. All right, real quick. That's what it guarantees. And I'm telling you right now, with the tool that I track fear with over here, it's topping next week or early the week after that on Monday. All right, and we get our Black Monday scenario. Maybe we get another minus 5% gap down on the NASDAQ. Does this not sound extremely juicy to you guys? Because it does to me. All right, give us these kinds of moves. Let's not lose ass off of it. Okay, and bang, you can profit off of it. It's as simple as that. Okay, constantly in the market, guys, my whole approach is continuously assessing what's going on in the market. Is it a risk on environment? Is it a risk off environment? When I see a potential correction loading, I take the risk off approach and I just tend to size down on everything. That's my whole approach. Okay, recently I've been trying just to be in and out. I'm taking shorter dated options right now with smaller sizing, just trying to pull my money out the market and have it be that. Okay. There are things, I'm going to point out some stocks that I think are going to be doing well. No matter what the environment here, they're popping. Okay. And I think they're probably going to keep popping, but also I'm going to point out in this video what stocks that I'm already paying attention to, on this dip. Okay. What do I want to be scooping up for discounted prices? But I'm definitely going to say right now, you might as well just still be taking that wait and see approach, because we don't have clarity that the bottom is in now, because we barely have moved. We have been trading flat all week, literally all week now. We have the last week in the session tomorrow, last day in the week tomorrow, last session in the week. That's what I meant to say. I was like, what the heck did you just say, man? You have the last session in the week tomorrow. We'll see if we get some direction off it. It looks like we want to break down. Okay, it looks like VIX wants to continue spiking, but I'm telling you, it is going to be presenting a very sick opportunity if you can just stay patient and let it come to you. Okay, I'm trying to help people let it come to them, but people don't want to listen to me. They really don't. I swear, guys, I have your best interests in mind. I do. I want people genuinely to, not lose their ass on a market correction that happens once every few weeks. So look at these spikes in the VIX. They happen once every few weeks. It's pretty much guaranteed. And I know for a fact people are just, they do not consider this. They don't at all. And they take risky bets constantly. And, you're making money when it's going up. But then it corrects and you're going to lose everything you just made all once because you are leveraged to the tits there. And yeah, you're not, I'm going to be honest, you're not doing things you should be doing. That's how it is. Okay. You can make, big money real quick, but if you take that same approach, and I call them bad reps, okay? If you're doing something that is not repeatable, but you make money on it, it's a bad rep. Why do I say that? All right? Well, it tells your head, psychology-wise, it tells your head that, hey, it's okay to do this. We made money on it. So next time that pops up, you're going to be like, wait a minute, I made money on it last time. But if the probabilities were against you anyway, then it's a bad rep, okay? Because you do that 8 out of 10 times, you lose money, okay? It doesn't matter if you made money that 2 out of 10 times. 8 out of 10 times, you're going to lose money. So it's a bad rep, okay? If you break even on something, if you take a slight loss on something, but you did what you knew you had to do, It's a good rep. If you could make some money off of doing what you got to do, those are the good reps that are going to stack up over time. And over time, you're just going to see, okay, when I do these things, this is what follows. The good reps. But I'm telling you, a lot of people do those bad reps. And when the market is just, going straight up there, and we got a bunch of high flyers here all the time here, and every little dip gets bought, you might have a really good time on those bad reps, okay? But now you have it hammered into your head that, okay, I can actually do this every single week, no matter what the market's giving me, and I'll make money off it. Well, guess what? This week has showed you that no, it's not working, okay? Which is why once we got this Friday action over here, I actually told you guys it was on this red day and this red day that I'm seeing signs that people are just leveraged to the tits. And if we get this market correction, I don't want people to lose their asses. I genuinely told people about it before it happened. No, there's not a freaking single clue that I thought we were going to get this knife candle right here, minus 3% down, minus 4% peak to trough on the NASDAQ. No, I did not think that. And if anybody says they saw it coming, they're idiots. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. All right. They think they know. They didn't know. This doesn't happen. Okay. I don't care. You could have known that something, quote unquote, something was going to be coming. A correction was coming. But anybody who is going to claim, oh, I told you so. Oh, there you go. They're a stupid bear. And they're stupid. I'm just going to leave it at that. They're idiots. Okay. Do not take note of these people. I get these people in my comments. Yesterday's video was literally me telling you, I don't know the direction of this thing. People should be taking the wait and see approach. I still get idiots in my comments, okay, telling me that I'm leading people to slaughterhouse. What the fuck are you talking about, you dickhead piece of shit? All right, like real talk. I spent the whole video yesterday talking about how we don't know. And if it happens, okay, if we get a knife down, we want to be positioned so we're not getting crushed by it. And so we can then take advantage of it. Okay, which guess what? That's just you sizing down or taking a step back and taking the wait and see approach. That's all you had to do. People don't like listening to Henry Boyd. They do not. All right. Either way. All right. We had this rising wedge pattern there on SPY and QQ that we pointed out. And, I was pointing out, hey, I don't know if we're going to be pushing back up the all-time highs because we're so close or if we're actually going to see the rising wedge play out. I have no idea. Now we see, yes, you broke that lower trend line there. You flushed from there. And you came down to yesterday's low. What does that tell us? We're probably going to go lower. Okay. It doesn't look all that good over here on the 4 hour. The smaller time frames don't look all that bad or all that good. Daily chart. All right. It's starting to lean bearish over there. But at the same time, you're still just around the moving average. Doesn't really tell you much. Weekly, monthly, bullish. Okay. What does that tell you? Look for the move down in the short term. Doesn't mean it's a guarantee, but look for the move down in the short term. That's where the probabilities lie. And then from there, if we get it, higher time frames, we know for a fact they are bullish. We are pulling into moving average. Okay. We are above them. We are still above 21 EMA. Look what happens when you get, big old knife. 1, 2, 3. What do we talk about on VIX, guys? That most of them are 3 weeks. Okay. 2 to 3. We're not going to talk about April over here. That was, excuse me, got the hiccups. That was completely different. Completely different. That is something that really has never happened before. That was a Trump manufactured crash. I do not think that is going to be happening again. And again, we know the government shutdown. By the time that ends, price will likely be higher than where it was over here on October 1st, which is 669.37. Current price 660. All right. What happens if you come all the way down here to 640? We take advantage of it. Why? Because we know the odds are we will be pushing back up violently. And that's that. All right. I'm not going to sugarcoat in this video. That's that. I'm not going to go over a bunch of trade ideas in this video. I'm not. All right. I'm just going to tell people this is the reality of where we are in the market right now. If you want to put your head in the sand and, maybe cut your head off and run around like that screaming chicken there. Okay. If you want to go nuts and all frantic in this market, I think it's stupid. All right. I think at the end of the day, for a fact, you should be doing less in this market. Yourself as a human being, as a trader, or as someone, who's trying to become a trader, whatever stage you're in, for a fact you are doing something wrong. Okay. Do not blame the market because you're losing money in this market. For a fact what the environment is. We've been very clear on it. All right. So there's that. We will have clarity, but I'm telling you, if we get that scenario where we move down, that's where my clarity lies. Other than that, I'm just waiting for you to push back up the highs, and that'll be that. Okay? Correction over, you push back up the highs. or you get larger correction and we know it lasts 1 to 2 weeks. There you go. Okay, it's as simple as that. I'll go over levels here, but yeah, I really just wanted to hammer that home in today's video. And I know we just spent 20 minutes talking about it, but I really think that should be the focus of the market right now. It should be that. All right, on the downside, you have 658.93, 657.11, 652.84. Okay, that is down here on Friday's low. If we take out 652.84, we are probably we're probably coming all the way down to where we're in pre-market over here, 646.20. Okay, so underneath here, we're just going to make that a white line. Underneath there, you come down to here. All right, bada boom, bada bing. All right, that is another 1% sell. And if you do that, I imagine you're not going to hold it right here, and you're going to at least undercut it a little bit. Okay, so that is SPY. And then, you know, really, I'm not going to call it upside levels other than, yeah, yesterday's high, 670.23 above there, 673.95. Unless you get above there, you really are not looking at longs right now. There's no reason to. There's not. Just take a chill pill, take a step back. Patience will pay. Just take the step back. Protect yourself. And then I'll point out when we got a big juicy opportunity next week, because I think it's coming. All right. QQQ. On the upside, we're just going to watch over here. Today's high, 608.31. You did end up sweeping that bad boy today. You did not end up, you know, look at that bad boy. Bang. All right. False breakout, came right back down. SPY didn't end up taking out yesterday's high. All right. And then, yeah, you sold the rest of the day there. So we're going to watch today's high at 608.31. Above 608.31, we're talking 613.18. Until that happens, you're not looking at longs. I can't make it any more clear. All right, on the downside, 595.93. Underneath there, we risk coming back down to 588.50. Okay, and if you take that out, this low in pre-market Fridays, or not pre-market, the after-hour session there, it was right around 583.32, which is where we broke out from all the way back down here. If we test that, you're dangerously close over here to just coming down to 580, which is your golden pocket for the whole most recent move up. Okay, so that's everything you're watching, guys. I'm not going to go really over much else in this video. All right, I will point out Google was the one Mag 7 stock that I said was, you know, shining over others yesterday, and I thought it would be getting this move up to highs. You did. Okay, all the other Mag 7 stocks, I'm pretty positive they did a whole lot of nothing today. What happened to our boy GOOG? You had a 5-point move right off open there. Congrats if you made some money on GOOG. There you go. All right, but NVIDIA, still uncertain. I still think we come down here 176. Microsoft, you're still right underneath the moving averages, stacked above you. Doesn't look good. Meta, I'm still waiting to see if we get this flush over here, get the daily RSI into oversold territory, and I'm going to be a buyer over here. All right, in the weekly time frame, I'm just going to point out it's not the best right now. It's really not. All right, so, you know, this is one that I'm going to consider, you know, still remaining in that position of I'm going to be a buyer. We're going to wait and see how this thing shapes up. Okay, next week, if this thing knifes down and we see that cloud flip back to red, honestly, I want nothing to do with this thing. Okay, if we see a quick move down that then gets bought back up and cloud stays green over there, that's great. But we can just see over here what happens when your cloud flips red is you get further downside. Okay. But I'm still going to pay attention to this. All right. It's going to change a little bit. Tesla over here, guys, it's consolidating right above previous all-time highs over here, 414.50. I honestly don't think Tesla looks all too bad. I know it's doing this, but yeah, it's just standing out against others right now. But, you know, at the end of the day, head and shoulders pattern right here, a whole bunch of consolidation. Can go either way. Break above 443.13. We have 453.55, 470.75. And downside 414.50, and then 396.69 is the gap you're watching. Okay. Amazon, this is the one Mag 7 stock coming into the week that I didn't really think it mattered what the market was going to be doing. I thought this thing would be selling. It just looks ugly. Underneath 211.42, guys. Yeah, you're going timber. All right, your next stop underneath there, you got these levels right over here at 207.31 and then 197.85. Pretty crazy stuff. But I think you get all the way down there. No. But yeah, you know, again, it's not looking good. Not looking good. Apple over here, guys, consolidating right underneath your moving averages. Just got to wait and see. Now, what I will say, guys, is chips still don't look all too bad. I will not be surprised if we see the market continue selling here into next week. Chips stay in this range. And then as the market starts recovering, chips break out into new highs and they drag the market higher. I won't be surprised in the slightest. Okay. TSM, I told you guys yesterday that, you know, I don't see a reason to ever play earnings on this name. There's just not. You could look back. I mean, or playing earnings in general, you just don't really have a reason to do it. You don't have an edge for it. You just don't. All right. If you know something about the company, then there's that. But, you know, technically speaking, you have absolutely no edge, and odds are definitely stacked against you on earnings every single time. Pricing a massive move here. We covered in yesterday's video, 3 to 5% move. If you just look back, that's the average on earnings, on these earnings gap ups. So, you know, probably not going to be doing much over there. Guess what? You didn't do much over there, but what did is what I was pointing out, how to play TSM over there. They both look beautiful, and MU over here, if it does break out the new highs, it breaks 201, okay? The last few times we've had these breakouts, you just kept going from there. You did not pull back, okay? You have 1, you have 2, you have 3, you have 4. Is this going to be the 5th? Probably. Hiccups. Probably, though. Looking very juicy, very nice. I think this is going to continue no matter what the market is doing. I don't think it's going to matter. This is on a one-way ticket into the sky, and it doesn't seem to really want to have a correction. It's just consolidating and breaking out the new highs. I have no reason to think it's not going to do that exact same thing here. So yeah, I personally think this is one of the names over here that you could focus on. Doesn't matter what the market's doing. All right. This is something that is probably going to be getting this nice move into, you know, end of week here tomorrow and next week. All right. But yeah, I'm looking for a big move out of this consolidation here. Okay. That's MU. CELH. This was another one I pointed out in yesterday's video over here. Was really showing the strength right now with what's going on in the market. The market just, you know, it has no clear direction. This looked like a no-brainer. It was going to be breaking above this high over here in the short term. Wasn't sure if it was going to happen today, but it did end up making that move today, and then it pulled back. Now, I think this thing is getting up to $69 by next week. It's just my personal opinion. Okay, either way, I'm going to keep this guy in watch over here, and I'm going to keep trying to pull some trades out of it on the upside, considering this thing is definitely showing strength right now in the market we got right now. And yeah, you're breaking up to new highs. You got a false breakout here, pull back the moving averages, now pushing up to new highs. Haven't gotten a daily close above there, but yeah, we'll see if you gap up a little tomorrow, take out today's high 6674 and can push straight to 6895. Okay, that is CELH. But yeah, really liking how this is set up right now. Should do well in the short term. CRWV, guys, was holding up a lot better than most today. Okay, you had a big old pump going on over here. All right, you had a big old pump going on. You actually had a big pump in the morning, and then a larger pump going on over here, where you went from a low. 11 points, all right, from trough to peak there. Pretty nice stuff. At some point, guys, this is going to explode. That's all I'm really going to say here. We'll see if they send it tomorrow. We will see into end of week. Do not be surprised if they do not. This ticker has been doing absolutely nothing for quite some time. It's been selling every single big rip that you've got. Still in consolidation. Has not changed the thesis, though. Okay, you're steadily just building up into resistance over here, and now you're consolidating right underneath it, getting tight in between there and the moving averages. I think this thing, it might pop tomorrow. We're going to be watching over here, but you know, either way, whether it comes tomorrow or next week, above 153.20, we're watching 166.63 above there, 187 all-time highs. Okay. And then Rocket Lab, guys, I want to scoop this guy back up on the 9 EMA test if we get it over the coming sessions. I hope tomorrow, but at the same time, you know, hey, all right, if the market keeps falling next week, then this might keep pulling back with the market. Okay, regardless, it's a name that I'm going to be trying to scoop up on this pullback over here. I like 1121 calls. If it's going to move like it did the last time, okay, you got this breakout 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks you're running. Over here, you have 1, 2. I mean, you could kind of call it that, but not really, okay? But yeah, 1, 2, 3. We should still have a 4th week coming over here. And yeah, if it's going to be like that, then that is the biggest one. If it's going to go exactly like these guys, then yeah, we're going to consolidate this week and next here. We're still going to have some nice moves. We're talking over 10% of range, but at the same time, we're probably just going to build something out just like you did over here, okay? It's exactly this. Look at that. All right, so we're going to be watching Rocket Lab. All right, and those are the tickers that I'm really liking in the short term here. MU, no matter what, it's looking great. CELH, no matter what, it's looking great. CRWV, I'm still focusing on the name. Rocket Lab, still focused on the name over here. And then names that I would like to scoop up. AMD, by the way, I think this is in the category of probably going to be moving on its own. It looks like it wants to take out 240.10 and continue over here. I'm not sure if it's going to do it into end of week tomorrow. But definitely I'm going to be watching for that next week. Okay. But ones I want to be scooping up, and HIMS, by the way, is also on the list of, I think it's probably, you know, thesis hasn't changed over here. You did get quite a sell. I would like them to close you above 60.55 over here. At the end of the day, nothing really changed. You know, this thing is just now breaking out of consolidation here. We know the monthly candle over here. All right. It's probably going to extend into all-time highs. We're probably not going to have, you know, one of these guys, okay, followed by a red candle or a consolidation candle. It's just not something that usually happens. You're definitely getting very tight here. And if it does turn into red candle, then hey, all right, this is completely changed. This is not pushing back up to all-time highs right now. And that's that. You know, I can't do nothing about it if that becomes the case. But yeah, I'm just telling you, thesis is completely intact over here. Monthly chart suggests we're probably this month, October, that has 2 weeks left, probably going to be pushing into all-time highs at $73 incoming. All right, and above there, yeah, 990 plus. Okay, next 2 to 3 weeks. So yeah, nothing changed other than you are definitely giving back a lot of yesterday's move today. You're back in the range, not the best sign right there, but the fact that you already did break out over here. I know you're back down here. I know, I can see it just like you can. I see it. All right, I'm just telling you, for a month you've been rejecting here. And now you have broken out. I know so far it's a false breakout, but you have still had, you know, the start of that change of character there. It's something different that's happening on this chart. And 100%, nothing changed over here in terms of what we're talking about on the monthly and the weekly chart. I would not like to see a massive upper wick just because none of these trending candlesticks have a massive upper wick. All right, you have this one over here. This is the only one I'm really going to point to. I don't want to see a massive upper wick. That's that. Okay. But yeah, HIMS still likely going to be doing well. And then, yeah, as far as names I want to be scooping up, I already told you guys about Meta. I'm looking for Google to be consolidating. If we end up just, you know, building this out here some more, pulling back into that, that's picture perfect. Okay. If it could do this action while the market is going like that, and then we could catch the market reversal there, GOOG pushes to new highs on that market reversal and has it's probably going to lead the way. So this is a name I want to focus on this pullback here. It's Google. Okay, GOOG or GOOGL. They're both the same. They both trade exactly the same. MU. All right, I know I already talked about it, but this is the same exact scenario over here where if we stay consolidating this range as the market pulls back next week, this is one I want to be taking advantage of over here. It's showing the strength. It's very likely going to continue making these moves. All right. Here, WV. This is one I still know a move is coming over here on this name. And if it could just continue consolidating here as the market pulls back, I'm going to call that strength. Okay. At the end of the day, I'm pretty sure this thing is going to be moving up. I'm pretty sure this monthly candle is not going to close out as the smallest monthly candle that this ticker has ever had, besides where it started right over here. Okay. So if we just come back, daily time frame, we could come back and see. Okay, it's only like that because you had 2 days in the month. Okay. So top watch still. I know nobody wants to hear it, but I'm telling you for a fact, CRWV has a shit ton of deals. All right. They just got them. Other stocks are popping off these same deals. Okay. They're popping. This thing has done dog shit. Okay. And it has the smallest monthly candle that it's ever had. We're not going to count this guy over here because it's a 2-day candle, monthly candle. Smallest monthly candle expected to expand into end of month. CRWV. I'm looking to load up some more if we end up staying in this range while the market pulls back. There you go. All right. JOBY. I know what we got today. I can see it. What I will also tell you is heaviest volume, 1, 2, 3, ever came into the stock. It's here in the same like 5 session period. You have 3 out of 5 sessions being the heaviest volume by volume. If you go down to smaller time frames, by volume, all right, heaviest ever has came into the stock. If it pulls back over here, I'm looking to scoop it up as close as possible to the weekly 21 EMA over here. I'm not going to give you a price, okay? I'm just going to tell you I'm going to keep my eyes on this name, and I'm looking to scoop it up cheap, okay? Because at the end of the day, I'm still thinking a big move is coming over here. Poet. All right, I want to scoop up my shares cheaper over here. I'm probably going to hop on options at some point. But yeah, I'm telling you, someone bought 1 month out, 70 to 80% out of the money over here with size. I don't think that person's doing it for no reason. I know this is happening with the market, but that guy probably just knows there's a catalyst coming around the corner. He probably does not give a shit about what the market's doing, just knows the catalyst is around the corner. That's that. On top of that, heaviest volume ever to come into the stock, ever, on this breakout. So I'm looking for buyers to support price on this pullback. I can't say exactly where that's going to be. You have 682 below. If you can't hold 779, there's that. But, you know, that's really all I'm going to say over here on this name. I'm looking for much higher prices within the month. And yeah, I'm looking to scoop it up lower. That's about it, you know. And yeah, that's what I'm going to leave my list to for the time being, guys. You know, those are the main tickers that I want to be focusing on that pullback there. You know, the robotics theme, I'd like to scoop up shares, you know, cheap if we can get them. SCRV, RR over here, guys, you know, is pulling back right into the 21 EMA, which, you know, tells me there's a chance they just kind of consolidate here and then pop it back up just like they did here, just like they did here. Or we get a deeper discount over here because this is second red weekly candle in a row. That was one. That was one. This is 2. That's a change of character. That's different. All right. So yeah, I'm open to this thing having a larger pullback over here, and that would be to the 9 EMA on the weekly time frame, which is currently sitting right around 450. Okay. So RR and SCRV, those are on the list there. Okay. As far as shares go, Joby, SCRV, RR, that's what I like to scoop up. Okay, as far as, you know, just what I'm focused on for options, GOOG, all right, I'm looking for it to stay consolidating this range if the market pulls back. I would really like that. Okay, MU, same exact thing, but I'm already trading it. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be pushing up, but if we get that scenario, then I'm looking to take advantage of it. CELH, no matter what, just for strength over here. Okay, I'm thinking this is going to be it's going to be popping. Okay, CRWV, because I'm telling you that monthly candle is very likely going to expand by the end of the month. We only have 2 weeks left, and a big move is probably still coming right around the corner. Okay, and yeah, that's what I'll leave it at, guys. That is what I'll leave it at. All right, and with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I really do. I know people are, you know, again, running around like headless chickens out there. I know. Okay, shut off social media for the time being. If you know you're not going to be doing anything, why are you going to be spending all this time, you know, staring at charts, staring at social media, or monitoring social media, doing that? All right, silence the noise, cut it out of your life. And yeah, you know, if you want, just report to this channel every day for our YouTube updates, and I will gladly let you know. And I'm not going to be a dickhead and make you wait until the end of the video either, or later in the video. I will tell you whenever the time is. I'll probably make a bold call at the very beginning of the video. Okay, so simple as that. Simple as that, guys. Don't mess yourself up in this market. Okay. Other than that, guys, please just remember to leave a like on the video. I would greatly appreciate it. Yesterday, I posted the video when we had the YouTube outage for over an hour there, so that was cool. We got a lot less likes. If you guys would like to like this video more, I would greatly appreciate it. That would be super cool. All right, but yeah, other than that, guys, if you want to come trade with me, I'm live every day. All right, that link is down below. Okay, I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.